made this confession during my review for Mockingjay Part 1, but I feel that the confession needs repeating. I have a very unusual love-hate relationship with the Hunger Games franchise. And it should also be noted that this love-hate relationship is restricted only to the movies, as I have not read the books. Nor do I really have any intentions to read the books. Not because I find them uninteresting, but because I'm simply not a very strong reader. Depending on the subject matter and the story, I just have a hard time finding the patience for it. Anyway, moving on. I have now seen all 4 of the Hunger Games movies in theaters. And having made this achievement, I can officially say one thing. Jennifer Lawrence is one of the greatest actresses of our time. Her incredible skill and genuine talent as an actress is literally the only thing that makes all these movies remotely worth watching. Now, that's not to say that I hate these movies, because I don't, more on that in a moment, but I feel that before I go any further with this review, I need to ensure Miss Lawrence's safety. So before I discuss my feelings about this movie and the Hunger Games movies in general, what I'd like to do is put a little barrier around Miss Lawrence here. And I'm going to keep her right in this corner so that from here on in, she is completely safe and exempt from any and all negative things I have to say about this movie and the rest of the Hunger Games movies. Okay? Okay. In a nutshell, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, the final epic conclusion to this incredibly popular franchise, is incredibly boring. Just like with Mockingjay Part 1, it takes a story that could very easily be told in just 110 minutes and stretches it out very unnecessarily into a 2.5-hour feature. Every once in a while, there's an action scene, every once in a while there are moments of character development, and every once in a while the story progresses. But other than that, the majority of this film is watching people in dark environments look like this. Now, as I've already stated, Jennifer Lawrence is an incredible actress and did a wonderful job of this movie despite the material she was given. However, I have never liked Katniss Everdeen as a character. Yes, Katniss Everdeen is theoretically a much stronger female role model than certain other young adult characters I could mention. Yes, she goes up against a massive evil dictatorship. Yes, chicks with bows and arrows are awesome. And yes, I understand that her character is suffering from a great deal of stress, particularly post-traumatic stress disorder, and that her character's desire to protect her younger sister is completely understandable and totally relatable. What is not understandable or relatable, and is even annoying, is her behavior. I don't really see how people are boasting that Katniss Everdeen is a super-duper strong female role model when really, she's not exactly role model material. I mean, if you really examine these movies, she has no agency in her actions, she actively does not want to partake in anything she does, and spends the majority of the movies whining. I love the strong female role model that Katniss Everdeen could be, but I don't like what she really is. Of course, it also doesn't help that all 4 Hunger Games are just so badly made to an inexcusable degree. The first film was a badly written, horribly shot, and diabolically stupidly edited film that looked like a Paul Greengrass movie on 8 Red Bulls. The second movie was actually a lot better because it had a little more character development, except for Katniss, but it suffers from just being a repeat of the first movie. Mockingjay Part 1 was boring as hell because of how much it stretched the entire story into 2.5 hours, so it contained mostly filler that was just completely stupid and dumb. Not to mention boring. And Mockingjay Part 2 is just the definition of anticlimactic. Please understand, I know it sounds like I hate these movies, but I really don't. All 4 of the Hunger Games movies are loaded with neat, cool, fun, interesting ideas that are totally worth putting on screen. Stories about overthrowing evil dictatorships are always worth my time. And I understand that it's really supposed to be a social and political satire on reality TV and the have and have-nots of the world. I get that, I admire that, and I think that the stories get points for at least trying to explore those ideas. But the actual movies? They just don't get it. Bottom line, the only reason you should see Mockingjay Part 2 is if you've already seen Mockingjay Part 1 and you really need to see the end of the story. But be warned, it is loaded with way too many boring scenes, a couple of stupid CGI effects, and a resolution that is in no way empowering to feminists. At least not in my opinion. Maybe if the producers hadn't made the stupid decision to divide this single book into 2.5 hour long movies and just made it one big cohesive movie, maybe I would have liked it a little more. But as they stand, this is a series of movies that have very neat ideas, and one of the greatest actresses of our generation utterly wasted. And furthermore, in my opinion, the only real positive thing that's going to come out of this series is that it's going to give Jennifer Lawrence the clout to do more awesome stuff that she wants to do. So in the meantime, I'm just going to go watch X-Men First Class again. Aside from the fact that it's a significantly better movie, it knows how to properly use Jennifer Lawrence's talents. That is so not what I meant. Ladies and gentlemen, I am The Norm. Thanks for watching.